Again, Bill Piper speaking from Marysville. It's so good to be with you. Do remember the subscribe and the like button if indeed you like. Just found a couple of really nice quotes from Bill Wilson, the founder of AA. One is, we must find some spiritual basis for living, else we die. I guess that was a good piece of wisdom to share with his friends who were suffering and having difficulty with alcoholism. And then it seems absolutely necessary for most of us to get over the idea that man is God. We all have that, kind of complex that we think we know everything and are everything, and everybody owes us everything, and so on. And once mankind gets over the idea that it's God, a lot of good things will happen. This is a really wonderful story of the power of one, and let me just share it with you. It's a little bit long, but stick with me. It's truly worth hearing. A teacher in New York decided to honor each of her seniors in high school by telling them that the difference that each of them made. She called each student in front of the class, one at a time. First, she told each of them how they had made a difference to her and the class. Then she presented each of them with a blue ribbon imprinted with old letters which read, "Who I am makes a difference." Afterwards, the teacher decided to do a class project to see what kind of impact recognition would have on the community. She gave each of the students three more ribbons and instructed them to go out and spread this acknowledgement ceremony. Then they were to follow up on the results, see who honored whom, and report back to the class in about a week. One of the boys in the class went to a junior executive in a nearby company and honored him for helping him with his career planning. He gave him a blue ribbon and put it on his shirt. Then he gave him two extra ribbons and said, "We're doing a class project on recognition, and we'd like you to go out, find someone to honor, give them a blue ribbon, and give them the extra ribbon so they can acknowledge a third person to keep this acknowledgement ceremony going. Then please report back to me and tell me what happened." Later that day, the junior executive went to see his boss, who had been noted, by the way, as being kind of a grouchy fellow. He sat his boss down and he told him that he deeply admired him for his creative genius. The boss seemed very surprised. The junior executive asked him if he would accept the gift of the blue ribbon and would he give him permission to put it on him. The surprised boss said, "Well, sure." The junior executive took the blue ribbon, placed it right on his boss's jacket above his heart. As he gave him the last ribbon, he said, "Would you do me a favor? Would you take this extra one and pass it on by honoring someone else? The young boy who first gave me the ribbons is doing a project in school, and we want to keep this recognition ceremony going and find out how it affects people." That night, the boss came home to his 14-year-old son, sat him down, and said, "The most incredible thing happened to me today. I was in my office, and one of the junior executives came in and told me he admired me and gave me a blue ribbon for being a creative genius. Imagine, he thinks I'm a creative genius. Then he put this blue ribbon on me that says, 'Who I am makes a difference,' on my jacket above my heart. He gave me an extra ribbon and asked me to find somebody else to honor. As I was driving home tonight, I started thinking about whom I would honor with this ribbon, and I thought about you. I want to honor you. My days are really hectic, and when I come home, I don't always pay a lot of attention to you, and sometimes I complain about you not getting good enough marks in school and for your bedroom being a mess and so on. But tonight, I just want to sit here and, well, just let you know that you do make a difference to me. Beside your mother, you're the most important person in my life. You're a great kid, and I love you." The startled boy started to sob and wouldn't stop crying. His whole body shook. He looked up at his father and said through his tears, "Dad, earlier tonight I sat in my room and wrote a letter to you and Mom explaining that I really planned on running away from here. I couldn't stand living here any longer. I just didn't think anyone, and especially you, cared for me at all. The letter is upstairs. I don't think I need it after all." His father walked upstairs and found a heartfelt letter full of anguish and pain. The envelope was addressed Mom and Dad. The boss went back to work a changed man. He was no longer a grouch, but made sure he let all of his employees know that they made a difference. The junior executive helped several other young people with career planning and never forgot to let them know that they made a difference in his life as well, one being the boss's son. And the young boy and his classmates that day learned a very valuable lesson. Truly, the power of one. That happiness always depends on doing the truth today. And one of the things that we can do in a truthful, honest way is to praise and acknowledge the good things that the people around us do for us. That never costs anything. And it always works. It just always works. It was wonderful. When I was a teacher, I could just say the smallest of things to one or another of the students, and you could tell they would beam from year to year. They would be so happy. I remember one day when I was a principal, a girl I came into my office. It was, that's at the outside of the office. I was able to look out and see her at the counter outside. She wanted to pay her tuition or something, and was crying. And I said, come on in for a minute." So I spent about 5 or 6 minutes talking with her. 30 years later, I got a note from that girl. She's now an admissions officer in some college in the middle of New York State, saying, "That day you changed my life." I changed your life. I just sat and talked with you for 5 or 10 minutes, and I don't know what I said. I can't remember. I remember bringing her into the office because she was so upset. But the smallest of things sometimes really makes a difference. So happiness tomorrow depends on doing the truth today. Keep on going. Keep on doing good stuff. God bless you.